And the distinction is between, on the one side, passivity, and on the other, pseudo-activity. Which is to say, when you are doing a lot of stuff, but it's actually amounting to nothing. It's not actually doing what you think that it's doing. And actually, it might even be having the opposite effect, right? Might even be having the opposite effect. And part of the issue that Baudrillard is keen on here is that we do not live in this mass age that McLuhan thought we were moving into, the mass age of the global village, right? Because that's what McLuhan was looking around. He was like, look at these student activists. They're also woke today. They understand that war fucking sucks because they're actually seeing it on their televisions. And so it's catalyzing them to action. Yeah, but also, while a handful of people are catalyzed to action, you have all these other people that are pacified. And that's what Debord is talking about. Yep. Nope. On the other side, though, there is pseudo-activity. And instead of the mass age, so I'll just go ahead and, I'm going to go ahead and remove some of the stuff on this whiteboard. I'm going to remove Debord, pacified, and I'm going to go ahead and put under McLuhan, mass age, which he started saying the medium is the massage, right? So you can say the medium is the massage, which was like, there is basically like somewhere along the line, McLuhan was talking about the mass age. The medium is the mass age, and this massage thing became this play on it. But for Baudrillard, he starts going like, yeah, it is a mass. It is a mass, but it's not the kind of mass that you're thinking, McLuhan. It's not the kind of mass that you're thinking. It is the fractured mass. And of course, there was a time of television, mass television and radio, where there was this idea of, silent majority and mainstream, right? And McLuhan was the media theory, the father of media theory at the dawn of this idea of the public, not the newspaper public, but the radio television public. Very different public. And so he's trying to theorize that public, and he's very optimistic. He's got his pessimistic moments, but he's also pretty optimistic that, like Ann said, education can help change the game for us. But what we see now is that Baudrillard was right. Is that people are more fractured than they've ever been. I was actually shocked. It's just a kind of a funny or fun example of this. I was like literally shocked in my discussion section at the university, one of my discussion sections at the university, when almost all of my students in the discussion section, like 20 students, almost all of them had seen Saltburn, this new movie. Like 2 students there had not seen it. Everyone else had seen it. So really quick, who's here? Show for the people with their cameras on. You're the only ones who are showing right now. Hands up if you have seen Saltburn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that like 5? Is that right? David Powers is a no. Theo is a no. Why do I ask this? Well, there used to be this funny thing called the Western canon, and people built their identities around how they disagreed on various aspects of it. which is to say, what's included in it. People didn't like the inclusion of this or that author, or they didn't like this or that mainstream interpretation of this or that text, and instead they would have their own take on it, always vis-a-vis, which is to say, in reference to the sort of mainstream canonical approach to the Western literature, right? Well, that meant that people didn't just have maybe this like, oh yeah, a lot of us have seen this one movie. A lot of us have seen this one show. Oh, nobody sees the music. No one's heard the music I listen to. No one's seen the shows that I watch, right? Like that. No. Everybody, insofar as they got an education, had read their Aristotle, had read their Plato, had read their Aristophanes, had read their Homer, had read their Bible, had read their Thomas Jefferson, their John Stuart Mill, their, right? At some point, maybe even Marx, right? I have the great books downstairs. I inherited them when the philosophy department was moving and they were giving away the entire great books collection. They were like, do you want these? And I said, yeah, yeah, I do. Because I was like a TA at the time. And so anyway, I have all the great books. And Marx is in there. Marx is included. The canon was sort of like the background conditions of intelligibility for Marshall McLuhan to be anti-canon. It was a conditions of possibility for him to also assume that the global village was going to come from the age of television and radio.